Which is the best energy stock to buy right now? Exxon Mobil, Chevron, Devon Energy, or Occidental Petroleum? I'm going to answer that question in this video, comparing the four stocks on four financial metrics to make the decision of which one is the best energy stock to buy now. So, looking at this metric, starting with revenue, ExxonMobil at nearly 400 billion in annual revenue is by far the leader. Next, Chevron at 235 billion, followed by the smaller players Occidental at 36.6 billion and Devon Energy at 19.17 billion. Of course, all of these companies pay dividends, and the one interesting one that I will point out is that Devon Energy has a variable dividend where when oil prices and subsequently its revenue and its profits increase, it increases its dividend payment. When oil prices and revenue and profits decrease, it decreases its dividend payment. And I tend to prefer that because it's prudent cash management for the company. It's telling investors up front that it's going to vary its dividend rate, so don't be surprised if it happens. While the other oil companies, they may not have a variable dividend. They may only move their dividend in the upward direction. Although, if there is extreme stress on the system, they too will need to lower their dividends in an emergency, which could be an even more devastating outcome if it does need to be necessary. So uh, it's interesting. I like the variable dividend policy. Of course, if you're a passive income investor that relies on a steady stream of dividends, you might not like the policy of Devon Energy. Certainly, a entire portfolio of stocks that has a variable policy will be very disruptive to a retirement portfolio because you can't count on a certain amount of passive income. But having a few companies in there like Devon Energy that have a variable dividend may be beneficial. The next metric I wanted to compare these four companies on is the cash flow from operations to sales over the trailing 12 months. And I went all the way back to 2013 for this metric. And in this metric, the two leaders are Devon Energy and Occidental Petroleum at 44.5% and 45.89% respectively. And then the big players, Exxon and Chevron, at 19% and 21% respectively in terms of turning cash flow out of sales. The other thing I wanted to consider is the profitability, the operating profit margin over the trailing 12 months. And again, the two leaders are Devon and Occidental Petroleum. This time, Devon ahead at 41.32% and Occidental at 37.3%. And the majors, the bigger companies, Exxon and Chevron, at 15.94% and 16.95% respectively. So what we've seen is the smaller companies, Devon and Occidental, have better cash flow from operations and better operating profit margins compared to the bigger rivals who have lower margins and lower cash flow from operations. Finally, I wanted to look at valuation to make my decision, and I chose to use the forward price to earnings ratio. And according to this metric, Chevron is the most expensive at a forward PE of 10.32. Next is Exxon at 10.14, Occidental at 9.732, and Devon Energy at 6.229. Of course, one thing I haven't highlighted yet is that Occidental Petroleum is one of Warren Buffett's favorite stocks right now in his Berkshire Hathaway portfolio. He's been adding shares of Occidental Petroleum into his portfolio at, it seems like, an aggressive rate. So there's something about that company that Warren Buffett is really attracted to, and I thought that would be noteworthy to mention before I make a conclusion here. Um, so, looking at the critical metrics, What I noticed is that Occidental and Chevron were ahead, like I mentioned, on cash flow from operations and operating margins. And then at the same time, Devon Energy is trading at the lowest valuation compared to all of these companies at 6.229, well below the others. Meanwhile, its operating profit margin, Devon Energy is in the lead. And then you look at cash flow from operations, Devon Energy is in second place, but barely behind Occidental and well ahead of Chevron and Exxon. And so, looking at the valuation, comparing these important financial metrics, I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. I come to the conclusion that the best one to buy now is Devon Energy. Devon Energy is the best energy stock to buy now, in my opinion, out of these four choices. All right, that's all I've got for this video. If you like this video, I've hand selected other videos that are popping up on your screen right now, and I think you're going to enjoy those. So please click on one of those, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for watching.